Hello, welcome to part 2. After his adventures in Cairo, Charles Xavier decides to go to Israel to help the traumatized Holocaust victims deal with their lives. There he falls in love with a woman that he's helping called Gabriel. And there he also meets another volunteer slash victim, Eric Magnus Lencher. And together, Charles Xavier and Eric they hit it off right away. They start discussing what if, theoretically of course, because this would never happen, that there would be a race of superior beings hiding among humans. Charles was very optimistic and said, it could work out. We would just need to work at it. And, once again, Eric, since he was a Holocaust victim himself, said there would be no hope. That humans would oppress these people and try to kill them, because he had seen it firsthand. Now, the two of them had opposing ideals, but they were so interested and fascinated with one another that eventually they opened up and shared each other and showed each other their powers. Later on, Gabriel is captured by some Baron Wolfgang von Strucker, who is part of Hydra, who needs her to find some Nazi gold that she apparently knew where it was. In the process, Charles Xavier and Magnus save her, and while Magnus was about to kill the man, Charles Xavier said, "No, you can't do that." And at that exact moment, they realized the two of them, their ideals would never be able to clash. They could never live in the same world together. However, they still decided they would be friends because they respect each other so much. After that, Magnus left and later became Magneto. And, of course, then Charles stayed for some time in Israel and then left. And Gabriel actually was left pregnant, which neither of them knew she was. And later on, this child would become the autistic mutant known as Legion. Another night class at some point. But they separated on good terms, so, While Charles was in the Himalayas, he came across a alien that called himself Lucifer, who was trying to, he was doing some weird alien stuff, I guess. I'm not 100% sure. He was scouting the planet for an invasion. Well, Charles Xavier foiled his plans, and Lucifer was so angry that his plans were foiled that he picked up a gigantic rock and crushed Xavier's legs. Xavier was then saved by a woman named Sage, who will later become important. She saved him because she heard his telepathic cries. While he was in a hospital, he was held by a young American nurse named Elmira. Now, the two of them fell in love, and actually, Charles talked Elmira to come back with him to Manchester, not Manchester, wow, that's completely wrong, to New York to help him build his school. However, once Scott Summers showed up in the X-Mansion, Elmira said, "You know what? This is not good. The best way to solve the mutant problem is to lay low." Yeah, she did not have a high opinion on mutants. Charles tried to make her stay with his mental powers, but then realized that that it was a horrible idea and abuse of his powers, and decided to let it go. Now, he also went and worked with Myra McTaggart again. And they built he and she, along with Carl Locus, who will become important later on, built the Mutants Research Station on Muir's Island. Apparently, Charles was over Myra and her marriage and whatnot, and was really more so focusing on his X-Men. And during this time, actually, he he passed over a few mutants to join his team of X-Men because he didn't feel that they were ready. And those were Kurt Wagner, Pietro Rasputin, Pietro, and Wanda Maximoff. But once again, another day. And of course, Storm or Orodo. Jean Grey actually became one of Xavier's first students because she was traumatized by the death of her friend, which I was covered in her story. And once again, he helped her overcome it. Yada 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 yada. I'm gonna stop it right there, and I will pick up again a little bit later. So stay tuned. See you then.